Well, hey there, you're on the internet, I have some free time, and welcome to the Triple N Network, where all you newbie nib nerds can find all the news you'll need. Let's look at an ink today, shall we? Now, today's ink I only have in sample form. Private Reserve Vampire Red, which is brown. Yeah, it's a brown. All the tests were done in this Parker Vector with a medium nib. Come on, camera. What's wrong with you today? Check out the chromatography, which is odd. I'm going to try and bring this close so you can see it. So essentially no water resistance, and then it goes up into a brown, but then right at the very edge there's this thin band of light sky blue. I thought that was interesting. I mean, we don't see any blue on the paper, but still. Interesting and of note. Starting from the top down in density, Clairefontaine 90 grams per square meter. It's brown. This is not red, it's brown. 6 seconds to dry, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's a medium nib. And, yeah, I said that this is the color of blood dried onto white cotton that's been washed and yet hasn't completely washed out. I think it's a kind of gross color. This reminds me of like a blood stain, like an old oxidized, coagulated blood stain. It's icky. So the vampire thing, I guess, kind of makes sense, but it's not red. As you can see, there's pretty much no water resistance at all. I mean, I'd say like 80% of that is just gone. So, yeah. Next is Rhodia, 80 grams per square meter, where 8 seconds to dry, so for some reason it took longer. I mean, the shading is kind of okay, but this really is just like old blood stain. Yeah, it's, I don't like it. And look at that. I mean, that's gone. That's just straight up gone. There is no water resistance to this whatsoever. But, yeah. Next is Tomoe River Paper, where it took 6 seconds to dry, which I guess isn't so bad for a medium nib on this paper. It's brown. Yeah, it's just brown. It's blood t-shirt brown. It's just ick. Yeah, it's gone. No water resistance. Kind of the, yeah. And here's 20-pound copier paper, where it took 3 seconds to dry, but it's just, now it just looks like an uninteresting flat brown. Like, that's really the only way I can think to describe it. It's, yeah, not much bleed feather spread though. There's some, but it could be worse, and that water test could be much worse. It could also be much better. I mean, you see it comes through in parts, but, you know, not too bad. Except for the color. The color is just bleh. Next is Mead Notebook Paper, where, yeah, just, you know, just back to that uninteresting, flat, uninspired brown. 2 seconds to dry. There's some feathering and some bleed and some spread, but it wasn't as bad as I expected. And the water test really isn't great. But, I mean, look, that could be worse. This is Mead, and it was a medium nib, so. And here's Moleskine Notebook Paper, where this really looks like old, washed, blood-stained brown. It's just icky. It's just, ugh, not a fan. It's just, it kind of grosses me out. I don't find it to be a nice color. But, yeah. No, not much nice I can say about this. But, yeah, water test could be worse. And I mean, that's not too bad. It's coming through in parts, but, you know, could be worse. Again, this is Moleskine, and it's a medium nib, so, yeah. So, there you go, for your consideration. Private Reserve Vampire Red. yeah, I'm not a fan, in part because it says red, but it's actually brown. And also because just the color association is kind of gross to me. And yeah, it's not the most well-behaved, but it's alright. Yep. So, for your consideration from the Triple N Network, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching. Bye.